It's time for Let's Chat with Russtek, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs just like you. When starting out, entrepreneurs often feel they need to go it alone, and I'm here to tell you that's just not the case. Entrepreneurs have a lot of questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Nick Russell, and this is Let's Chat with Russtek. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat with Russtek. My name is Nick Russell, and today I want to talk about providing value to your audience, and not only providing value to your audience, but providing more value as you bring them up your value ladder. Now, last week I kind of talked about the perceived value. One of the things I talked about was my Blackberries. Because if you remember, just a few weeks ago, BlackBerry sadly said the old, well, especially these two, because they're hanging on the wall if you're watching the YouTube video, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm pointing to the two Blackberries I have hanging up behind me. But the old BlackBerry OS and the BlackBerry 10 OS phones are dead. You're not going to be able to receive calls, texts. The internet is really finicky on it through a Wi-Fi connection. Some sites will load, some sites won't. So they're pretty much dead. It is not a reliable functioning phone anymore. So I kind of talked a little bit about BlackBerry, but one thing I talked about last week was my Key 2 and wanting to sell that to you. Now, when I wanted to sell that to you, I was talking, the BlackBerry, you're not going to want to buy a BlackBerry Key 2. It's a mid-range at best phone spec-wise, smaller screen than anything else on the market, has a keyboard, and the TCL version of the BlackBerries, the Key 2, the Key 1, they will eventually have an end of life. That Android OS will stop receiving support in a little over a year. So it's not going to last you that long as far as using it as a primary, your daily driver. But what I did was I made the perceived value of that phone far greater than what the actual phone was worth. You could unfortunately, right now, the BlackBerry Key 2s are around $1,200 and then plus, because they're so hard to find, especially with all the BlackBerry lovers out there buying them all up. But realistically, that phone's not much more than a $500-$600 phone. But what I talked about was leaving everything on there, like my contacts. So you have some of the best marketers in the world, leaving on all the courses that I've paid thousands of dollars for. So you have access to all of them. I talked about funnel scripts being on there. So you could actually make scripts for anything and everything that you need to do in order to market your business. So I made that perceived value a lot more. So kind of talking about providing value, this week I want to talk about the value ladder and how you can actually take your audience up the ladder and continue to provide them value. And one of the things I wanted to use as an example this week was actually Russell Brunson and the Dotcom Secrets book. Now, he's offering you that book absolutely free, okay? And from every step throughout the funnel, he's offering you even more value. Now, one of the best examples, I'll switch this up a little bit. I want to use something else as an example. So you've heard me talk about the One Funnel Away challenge. This is probably one of the best challenges, mini courses, I guess, 30-day course challenge that I have ever taken. It has taught me so much, and it's paid dividends on me using it for myself and my business and what I learned from there. But if I were to tell you right now, hey, here's this 30-day course by this guy, Russell Brunson, that you may not have ever heard of, but pay him $100, take this course, it's going to be awesome. Chances of you buying it with me just saying that is very slim. Now, if I told you a little bit about Russell Brunson and I gave you a link to the 5-day lead challenge, one of his week-long 5-day challenges. Now in there, in the funnel, he explains who he is, how he's built his businesses, how he's learned all these things. And he's going to teach you how to get leads in 5 days. Now, this is absolutely free. So that's the bottom of his value ladder, of this value ladder. Now, while you take this, he's going to upsell you into the One Funnel Away challenge. So you go from that 5-day lead challenge, and he's going to take everything that he taught you there and just blow it up. He's going to expand on it in a deep dive into every small little piece that he talked about in the 5 days. He's going to make it a 30-day long challenge mini course kind of a thing. So that's the second step. So you went from a free 5-day challenge to $100 mini challenge. Now the next step is he has an event called a 2 Comma Club Live. Now, unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, he had to shut down his funnel hacking live event because you couldn't hold in-person events. And they have over 5,000 people attend this one entrepreneur event. It's a week-long thing. Tony Robbins speaks, as well as a ton of other entrepreneurs and marketers. So he did this online, I believe it was a 3-day virtual event. We got up started at 9 in the morning, all on Zoom with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of other entrepreneurs. But it was a 3-day event where you sat on Zoom, and basically he took the funnel hacking live experience and made it virtual. So, and it was a quarter of what the funnel hacking live tickets were. So I believe it was $297, and you got to sit and listen to Tony Robbins, listen to entrepreneurs like Alex Sharfin. Of course, Russell Brunson had multiple talks, Steve Larson, and so many others. And you sat down and you networked with other entrepreneurs. We had little breakout rooms with 5. Each breakout room throughout the day had different entrepreneurs that you could network with and build relationships with. And I have met some of the best friends that I have recently, and we still chat. And I did this last year. Now from here, his next step is to get you to funnel hacking live, which is the ultimate goal for this value ladder. Now it's $1,000 ticket, but you get to be in, I think this one coming up is in Florida. Now I did make it is on my vision board to go to funnel hacking live this year. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, I'm kind of waiting to get my ticket. I want to make sure things are safe for me to go. But if it's not this year, next year, when this whole, knock on wood, pandemic ends, definitely that is on my list. I still want to go this year. It is still my goal this year, but I'm going to wait and see to make sure things are safe. But his ultimate goal is to get you to funnel hacking live. And that's where I want to go. But you can see how he starts with something free to give you a ton of value. And then he'll take what he taught you, he'll build on that with the One Funnel Away challenge. Then he'll build on that and teach you even more in the 2 Comma Club Live virtual event. And then ultimately teach you even more at Funnel Hacking Live. So you can see how each step provides more value. It's a little bit more money, but each step provides more value. And that's kind of where you weed out the people that you don't want, the people that aren't in your target audience. You'll kind of weed them out as they go up the ladder. Ultimately, your dream 100, your target audience will ascend up that value ladder, and you have the right customer, the right client that you want to work with eventually. And this will work in any business, whether it's you're selling a physical product or a virtual product. It's work for both things. Now take a look at even, say, a chiropractor. Typically, if you have a chiropractor, you go in, you get an adjustment, and that's it. Now, what happens if you went in, say he offered a free mini adjustment if your back was sore? then upsold you to a monthly fee where you get so many adjustments throughout the month. Then from there, a little bit more, he'll throw in massage. They'll have a massage therapist at this chiropractic clinic. Then you can have so many massages as well as your adjustments. And then he moves you up the value ladder, kind of the same thing Russell did with his trainings. But this is something in a different industry, but you have different ways to provide more value at each step on the way up, right? So that's really all I wanted to talk to you about this week, was show you how a value ladder works and how you can use that in your business. Now, that's something that we do here as well as so many other people. So the question I have is, do you have a value ladder? And if you don't have a value ladder, what can you offer at the bottom level all the way up that value ladder, all the way up that ladder to get your clients, your customers, your Dream 100s to the ultimate goal that you have? What is the highest package that you have that you want to sell? So you start from the bottom. You can even start in the middle, but start and make your way up, and eventually show your Dream 100, show your customers, your clients that you are the expert in your industry, and you can keep providing more value on the way up. So that's all we had for you today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you got a lot out of it. And again, if you got value from this podcast, definitely check out the Dotcom Secrets book. It's a free book. There'll be more information on that in a second, but I highly recommend this book. It changed the way I do business. It changed my business, and it helped me scale tremendously. So hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I can't wait to chat with you again next week. Hold up one quick second. I want to give you a free book. Now, this book that I want to give you is probably one of the best books I've ever read. And it's a book that I use constantly, not only as just a great read, but I use it as a textbook in my business every single day. That's a book by Russell Brunson called Dotcom Secrets. It's the first book he wrote in the series, the trilogy that he wrote with Dotcom Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Traffic Secrets. Now, these three books combined, to me, is better than any university education when it comes to marketing. It is filled with everything you need to know to market your business. And I want to give you Dotcom Secrets for free right now. So all you have to do is click the link in the description of this podcast or YouTube video, and you will see the link to get your free version of Dotcom Secrets. And believe me, you will not be disappointed. This is one of the best books I've ever read. Hopefully you enjoy Dotcom Secrets, and I'll chat with you again next week.